Buenas tardes. It is such an honor and privilege to be with all of you this afternoon. And I'm having major flashbacks at the moment. But on behalf of the entire council, I am here to express our deepest appreciation to all of you for your public service. And I'm the warm-up act today. I'm the Jefferson Starship to the county executive's Rolling Stones, so I will not speak as long. But I do want to begin by sharing a story that's a little dated, but I think relevant to where we are right now as a community and as a society. On March 15th, 2009 was the worst day of my professional career. Many of you in this room were working in county government at that time, and as you'll recall, the county executive released his budget that afternoon rather than that morning because we needed the time to share the terrible news with hundreds of county employees that they were going to be losing their jobs because of a reduction in force process. And the Department of Human Resources gave department heads the option of having them deliver the news or us deliver the news. And so I, of course, chose to deliver the news to the 49 people that I was going to have to let know later that morning that they were going to be losing their jobs. And from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 in the afternoon, every half an hour, a different classification of position would come before us, and I delivered the awful news, which was that through no fault of their own, they were losing their jobs. It was an awful day, but even more so for the people that were on the receiving end of that information, of course. That afternoon, I was broken. I was exhausted, I was tired, I was emotionally spent, and I thought about quitting my job. In fact, I've never told anybody this before, but I actually wrote a letter that I intended to submit the next day to Tim Firestein and Ike Leggett, tendering my resignation as the director of the department. But that afternoon, our youth development team encouraged me to come to an event that they had produced at the Holiday Park Senior Center. And it was an event in partnership with students from Blair High School, Einstein, and Wheaton. And it was a senior prom. It was a dance. And I didn't want to go, I was tired, I just wanted to get home. But Holiday Park was on the way home, and so I figured I'd stop by. And I got there late as the event was wrapping up, and I was introduced as the director of the department. And as I was leaving, a woman came up to me with tears in her eyes, and I thought something was wrong. And she said, "No, nothing's wrong. I just want to thank you." And I said, "For what?" And she said, "My husband used to love to dance, and that was the first time I've danced since he passed away more than 6 years ago. And I haven't had this much fun since he passed away." And in that moment, I realized so quickly the power and the importance of public service. And I share that story for two reasons. One, I can only imagine over these last 3 years that in dark moments, each of you were probably questioning your jobs and whether or not you wanted to continue in them. As the weight of the pandemic and the true fact that lives were on the line based on our work and processing that and how difficult that was while dealing with your own family challenges and shifting government from an in-person operation to an entirely virtual one, developing new systems on the fly must have been and continue to be overwhelming. But I'm here to thank you for staying the course, for choosing the noble profession of public service. You are meeting your destiny in ensuring that we carry forward the legacies of generations before us in the pursuit of the common good. We work for Montgomery County, Maryland. We should all stand tall. We should all lift our heads high because in Montgomery County, success is the floor and excellence is the expectation. And our work matters. It matters to the resident who is counting on the bus arriving on time to get them to work or to get them to the job that will help lift their family out of poverty. It matters to the inmate at Clarksburg who, through the support of the staff, is getting the GED that's going to help lift them up when they finish their term incarcerated to be able to get a job. It matters to the hundreds of thousands of county residents that received food assistance, rental relief, and a myriad of other services that helped keep them afloat during the pandemic. And it matters to the woman that I met 14 years ago who helped reinstate my belief in public service, that we created a moment in time for us to have some fun, for her own health and wellness. This work has never mattered than it does right now. And so I want to thank you for choosing the profession of public service, for choosing to work here in Montgomery County. My colleagues and I remain totally and completely committed to supporting you in all of your efforts and in all of your work. And I know that it's frustrating that you get all A's and one C, and the one bus that didn't arrive on time gets a call from a council member, and the pelotudo caracho calls us and says, I got all A's and one C. Why are we just focusing on the one C? And I know that feeling. I've been in those shoes. But again, success is the floor here in Montgomery County, and excellence is the expectation. So, in conclusion, I just want to let you all know that there are countless numbers of people in our community whom you will never meet and never get to know, but whose lives very much depend on your work and your commitment and the path that you have chosen professionally, which continues to be such a noble one. So thank you all very, very, very much. Please give yourselves a round of applause.